this video is for our 2nd through 4th grade leaders for March week 3. So our theme for this whole month is jump ball, finding peace in the madness, kind of a nod to the March madness that's going on right now. And our life app for the month is peace, proving you care more about each other than winning an argument. So in week 1, we talked about proving you care more about others by letting go of what's fair. Then in week 2, we talked about proving that you care more about others by walking away from a fight. This week, we're learning a story from the book of 1st Samuel about Abigail, and our bottom line is, prove that you care more about others by being part of the solution. So, hopping over to our activities, memory verse. Our memory verse for the month is, so let us do all we can to live in peace, and let us work hard to build up one another. Romans 14:19. All right. So this week, just make sure, like always, that you arrive at 8:30 and 10:30. Those are just really important minutes to spend. Just take a couple minutes out of those 10 minutes to pray for your small group. Pray for them just individually, for their home lives, for what's going on at school, but then ask God to just give your small group an opportunity to be peacemakers. And that maybe when things come up at school this week, they would remember this story and be part of the solution to a conflict. So then as kids roll in at 8:40 and 10:40, as they join your circle, ask about their week, make sure you know their names, make sure any first-time guests feel really welcomed, and then you can be asking them some questions. What's your favorite food? What's your least favorite food? If you could pick any restaurant or a meal at home for your special birthday dinner, what would you pick? And when you eat, do you eat your favorite thing first or do you save it for last? Just some more icebreakers. Then at 9 and 11, when service starts, you're going to play a game called Alphabet Pass. So you'll have a ball in each of your carts, and you'll have your kids circle up, and you'll hold the ball. And then you're going to say, you're going to name different foods in ABC order as you toss the ball across the circle. So maybe if you think your kids are going to be crazy, it's best if you sit down and you roll the ball to each other. If you need to put some ground rules down, like we're only underhanding toss, or you have to say the person's name first, that might be good too. So you'll start the game by tossing the ball and naming a food that starts with A. So you'll say, A is for apple. And then you'll throw the ball to another kid, and they are going to say, A is for apple, B is for a banana. And then you'll keep tossing the ball in ABC order. Try to make it all the way through the alphabet. You can decide they might not have to say what was before it. So because it's going to take a really long time if every time they have to remember. So maybe they just say B is for banana, the next kid says C is for carrots, and the next kid says D is for, why can I not think of a D food? Whatever. Okay, they'll figure it out. What is a D food? Doritos. There we go. Okay, so another option is to let the kids name the foods that start with any letter, but as they go, the next kid has to name all the foods that were named before. So that's really hard. I would just go in ABC order. I think that's probably best. They give you a little bit of help for U, Q, X, and Z because those are really hard ones, and you might just have to fill those in for the kids. So then you'll just say, great job, friends. So we had to get a little creative with our food choices for some of those letters, especially the letter X. And food plays a huge role in our Bible story today, so I can't wait for you guys to hear it. So then you'll go down to the large group area. So excited. We got lights in our large group area, so it really makes such a difference on the stage and in the audience. Super pumped about that. It just totally changes the environment, so we're one step closer to having that room where it is really a stage environment, which is awesome. So just make sure that you're sitting with your kids, encourage them to sit around you, encourage them to worship, and definitely encourage them to pay attention to the story. So when you get back into your small groups, remember 3rd and 4th grade boys, you are more than welcome to stay, to roll your carts with you into the large group room and then stay in the large group room. That makes it a little less chaotic. You have a little bit more room to spread out. But the review activity that you're going to do is called shoe switch. So what you're going to do is you're going to have kids stand in a circle, and they're going to take off one shoe and put it in the middle of the circle. And then you'll have the kids each pick someone else's shoe, not their own, from the pile, and they're going to put it on their hand. So if they don't want to wear it, they can just hold it. It's fine. And then kids have to stand up and find the owner of that shoe. And once they find them, they have to lean over and put the shoe next to its match while it's still on their hand, while they're still holding it. And since everyone is trying to figure out each other's owner, you're going to end up with a huge web of kids. It's just going to be like a hot mess because they're all going to be trying to find each other. So once matches have been made, you're going to have kids carefully stand up and return the shoes to the right person and then have a seat. And as they're putting their own shoe back on, you're going to say, so guys, what do you think the phrase walk a mile in someone else's shoes means? And in our story today, it helps to try to put ourselves in the shoes of each of the different characters. So David couldn't understand why Nabal wouldn't share, and Nabal couldn't understand why David would ask for food, and Abigail couldn't understand why everyone just couldn't get along. So when you have a disagreement, does it help to try to think about how the other person feels? Does it help to walk in their shoes? So why? And just kind of talk about that. So really this activity is not the main gist of it. You want to get to this part of the activity, talking about it. And then just close by saying, so guys, being part of the solution means that you try first to understand the other person's point of view instead of just making it about you. So a good question to ask yourself is, what does this situation look like from their shoes? How are they thinking about it? And when you can start to figure that out, it's way easier to come up with a solution that brings peace instead of more fighting. Just like Abigail did, you can prove that you care more about others by being part of the solution. So then for the memory verse review, you'll need your Bibles. You'll need these activity sheets that are on your cart and some markers, and I'll have some stickers on your cart too. So you're going to pass out your Bibles and help kids look up Romans 14:19. Help them read out loud. Maybe practice it from your memory verse cards with the motions a few times. And you'll give each kid one of those activity pages and point out the blanks on the page. And tell kids that they're going to use your markers to fill in the blanks with their own names and circle he or she. So let Katie do all that we can to live in peace, and let Katie work hard to build up one another. So I would put my name in the blanks. And then just give them a few minutes to decorate it with stickers and the markers. And then say, so guys, I think each one of us can do all that we can in our homes, in our classrooms, and on our teams, and our neighborhoods to live in peace. And I want you guys to take this home and put it somewhere in your room where you can see it every day to remind yourself that to prove you care more about others by being a part of the solution. If your group is a chatty group and you just want to sit and chat and talk, here's some little optional questions. What's one way you could be a peacemaker? When is it hard to be a peacemaker? When is it easy to be a peacemaker? How can you be a peacemaker with someone who likes to gossip and talk about people? And can having just one peacemaker in a group change everything? So those are some great questions to think about. So then as you pray, all you'll need is for kids to have those pieces of paper that they made, and you're just going to ask your small group if there's any person in the story that stood out to them today. And if they share, just ask them how they think that person could use prayer, or if there's anyone in their lives that they thought about. And then you can just close in prayer. And here's the prayer right here. Help us to just see people like you do. And then as adults arrive, ask each kid that they share someone who deserves kindness. Oh, you know what? I forgot to change this whole part. This is from last month. I was thinking that. I'm going to have to redo those. That's annoying, because this is talking about being overlooked. Why did I not change that? Okay, so I will make sure that that gets changed and that you have the updated one for Sunday. Okay, sorry about that. So that's it for this week. Super excited about having new lights in the room. Super excited about what we're learning about this week. Thank you all so much for being small group leaders. I am so grateful for you, and the impact that you make on these kids is just amazing. So I can't thank you enough for coming in and serving on Sundays. Very grateful for you, and we'll see you on Sunday.